So Hybrida, or Never Lose, appears to be a new player to ETFL. He's had an account for 5 years, but he's only been active for 2 months, and he's started being active by joining high on sixes and then leaving, joining multiple teams. So he's been inactive for 4 years, and he's been active for 2 months. I couldn't check his Steam profile because it's private, and I don't know anyone who has him added. Of the one offie which he did win out of the 3 he's played, he was the only player to not submit demos. Unless I'm reading that wrong. And he's only started playing competitive on 27th of April 2023. And in that time, he's played roughly 400 games. It says almost 900 because every lobby has two logs, Theatre Center and Serve Me. So he's played roughly 400 games. One thing I want to show as well is on the 2 demos I've been sent. On the first game, he goes 29-4. So he has basically the same KD as his demo. He's got really high KD, 8.0. He almost sub DPMs, just being beaten by both demos. And he almost sub frags, being beaten by his demo. And he diffs the other sniper really bad. He also wins 6-1 SVS, but he has an accuracy of 40%. Same with the second log. Except here, there was 0 people spectating the server. And here, there were 7 people spectating. So, during this match, he was performing really well, and then some people joined spectators. And in this game, it at least looks like he's toned down whatever he's been using, like cheat, walls, aimbot, trigger bot, anything like that. And he has a normal KD. I think he actually loses. Yeah, he does lose. No, he wins SVS, but he still has an accurate. In fact, he actually has a better accuracy than this log, which doesn't make that much sense. One thing I want to show as well is that when he plays sixes, he gets a stupid accuracy of 77 compared to 57, 53, 67. It's not going to show me the sniper one. Here also 78% accuracy, 69, 64, 54. And here 76%. Where's this one? Oh yeah. What I want to show. So even on this log where I have 1000 DPM, my accuracy is only 52. It might not be a good example to show, but having 80% accuracy is kind of crazy. At least in Team Fortress, because you don't usually get that. If I look at hit scan, you tend to average around, if you hit your shots around 60-70, if you don't, then around 40-50. So having a really high accuracy is a little bit, not fishy, but it's a bit unusual. But on these more important games, like scrims rather than lobbies, it does seem like he knows how to turn it down. If he is cheating, of course he could not be cheating, but if he is cheating, then he really does know how to turn it down. Right, what I think is weird with this clip is that Spy is over here, he's got particles on him, he doesn't seem to notice. He goes for mid. Spy keeps walking through main. I mean, could have noticed it, but I don't think a new player would notice something like that. Keeps walking through a connector. Eventually Spy bumps someone or changes disguise and there's smoke particles on him. And right as he does that, he flicks onto him and then onto Cliff. This could be coincidence, but I don't think so, because Spy would have just spawned recently. So, I'm not sure. This clip's kind of short, but what I think is weird with it is that he jumps down from China and he flicks instantly onto the pyro. And if his team is supposedly all Spanish and he doesn't speak Spanish very well, then it's just a bit weird that he would jump over China and instantly flick onto concrete where pyro is. So this clip's also weird and short. The only thing I could say is that it could be coincidence, or it could just be seeing the Spy. Obviously if he's walling. But what happens is the Spy just jumps in front of him and he instantly unscopes. But I'm for this one, I'm really not too sure if it is legit or not. It could be could not be. It could just be a case of coincidence, but I put it in here just in case because it is with the way he's playing, it kind of adds up and it's consistent with him always being aware of the spy, especially in this demo where he only dies like 4 or 6 times or something. This clip is a bit weird, because like obviously he comes from concrete, he goes through main and he's going to peek cliff, and he's already looking at cliff before he peeks, which I don't know, could be normal, could be not. I tend to do that. You just kind of put your crosshair there where you're going to aim, makes your life easier. These small micro movements, but he just peeking, scoping, rescoping. It feels like he knows he's there, and that he just wants to get a free frag. Especially because when he comes out of main, he does look at other main, and then he flicks onto the sniper, and you can see he shoulder peeks, and then he never lose goes back. He comes back because he sees he's fully peeking, and then he loses the FPS. One thing we've also noticed with throughout the demo is that every time it seems like every time he changes his hats or cosmetics or weapons or whatever, the way he plays changes drastically. Like on this clip where he equips the wetworks, he just starts flicking everywhere, plays really aggressively. After he takes the teleporter, he sort of throws his mask around everywhere. And when he does go in China, he does a 180, looks at, just like barely sees a soldier, flicks on him, gets a headshot. And then for the rest of the clip, he's just really, really flicky with his aim. And like before that in the demo, it was sort of controlled, sort of slower, like he's taking care of his aim, trying to hit shots. And then all of a sudden, he's like fucking wizard on MGE. So what's really weird with this clip is that he starts tracking the demo. And like, fucking everyone knows what tracking is. Like you drag your crosshair on someone, and then like you just try beating them. What I think is really, really weird here is that on this clip, what's really, really strange, and what I've seen before with other people that have cheated and their demos and shit like that, is that he's tracking the demo, and even after he shoots, he still continues tracking. This is kind of similar to when I reported Nitro for cheating, and on one of the clips, as you can see here, like he's chasing, like he's shooting the spy, and even after he kills him, he's still tracking, still moving his crosshair, which is a little bit reminiscent of Triggerbot. Just, you know, like, obviously you need to take everything with a grain of salt, but if you're going to be tracking someone and then you shoot and you still track, then you know it's a bit fucking weird. You just don't do that. Like you stop after you shoot. On this clip, he doesn't really kill anything, eh? But what is worth taking note is that he like with Spy, he hasn't died much to Spy at all with this demo, but it feels like he has a mental checklist of, oh, I haven't turned around in 5 seconds, I need to turn around, or you know, be obvious I know where Spy is, and he does end up turning around. He scopes in, and while he's scoped in and turned around, he does a full fucking 180, still scoped in. I don't know. Like he's either playing on fucking 1 centimeter at 360 when scoped in, or something's going on. Because like no normal player would do that. Like no one plays on a sense like that. This clip, the only thing that's like weird with it is when he kills the scout, his crosshair kind of snaps. That could be a demo thing, because even on a POV demo or an SCV, like shit snaps because it's terrible quality. But it's a bit weird that kills the scout, his crosshair snaps up and down, left, right, whatever, draws a fucking square or some shit, and it's not like a fluid movement. So yeah. On this clip, he goes to cliff and he peeks concrete and he doesn't see anything there, so he goes back to look at main, and it feels like he's walling because it looks like he sees the sniper go there, and then all of a sudden, like he looks at concrete, looks at main, didn't realize the sniper was going to peek, and he quickly goes back to correct his mistake and try to shoot sniper, or he looked at concrete and went back to main, and then as he moved his crosshair, he saw like his hair or his shoulder or his hat or something, and then he quickly went to correct that mistake and tried to kill the sniper. But it like here, it really does look like walls, because it's such a like fast correction. On this clip, he's being cliff, And obviously there's a demo walking through here like that. And instead of him putting his crosshair here, where, you know, like, if I come here, you can see that whatever player is leaving here to go concrete, they won't see the fucking dot that's over here. But if the dot is bouncing on here, like that, like, I don't know, if you're walking out, you might see, oh, there's a sniper dot, let's just go main. But what Neverloose does, is he keeps his crosshair on there. So when the demo does actually walk through, instead of making his life easier, putting the crosshair here, so when the demo drops, oh, I don't know if they move my crosshair, you know, it's already my crosshair. He keeps the crosshair here, and as soon as the demo walks, like, he moves, I don't know, like fucking speed of light to, like, kill a demo. So he's actually just making his life harder for himself by having to flick here. And he still gets the demo. It's really weird. You must have like a really nice fast reaction time to do that, instead of putting your crosshair in the middle. Like, just from my experience playing sniper, that's not something I would do. It's not something I've seen other players do, so I think it's a bit weird. So this is one of the weaker clips which I've collected. I was told to keep it in because the people that gave me the demos or told me to look at them said it looked like Triggerbot because he's dancing his crosshair around the sniper's head, waiting for the cheat program to shoot for him. But, like, I think it looks relatively normal. Like, it could be a little bit weird depending on how you look at it. I think it's not that bad. They think it's pretty bad, but I'll leave the clip in just like, you know, just to keep it in a video. But essentially what goes on in the clip is he's peeking cliff, he sees a sniper and he just keeps waving his crosshair around the head until eventually he does shoot and he does kill the sniper, and they thought that was pretty weird. So this one could be a demo thing, but like his crosshair just looks like it snaps on the heavy. Like, that's it. Like, it's a big fucking flick, but it could be a demo thing. This clip, basically, all that happens is his thing cut the point, and just local for sniper, because, you know, you've almost wandered around the snow point saying, oh, sniper cliff, please, watch out. And he either sees the shoulder of him, or he knew he was there, and he quickly flicks up. He quickly flicks up to take the SVS, but they win a round. They thought it was a bit weird. I think it's one of the weaker clips, but I'll keep it in here just because it is a suspicious thing. This one I think is probably one of the strongest clips that I've shown here. But he takes the SVS, he's overhealed, gets headshot, gets fucking knocked back to concrete, and then he sees the sniper through the fucking wall leave cliff and go into porch, and he's still aiming at him, and he's trying to get him through the crack from the fence on rock and him on porch. And you just wouldn't see that. I don't see how you could explain that unless Spy was up and I completely missed that, or he got the call for that. But I don't think you can explain that one, at least not easily. So yeah, I just think it's one of the stronger clips. On this one here, again, it could have just predicted him going to cliff, because Teddy keeps going to cliff every mid, or every time he spawns. Or he could see him. I think it's a little bit weaker, looking back at it now. But he does keep his crosshair on his head when he's speaking. So I think that's worth taking note. But that's about it. Like, you know, like, fucking SVS, you roughly learn where Sniper's head's going to be on product, especially. But, like, it's just slow peaks, and when his head is behind the metal thing, keeps the crosshair on his head through that thing, and then he peeks and then he wins the SVS. This one's a bit short. It just goes to concrete, fucking insta-kills the scout. That's it. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, but it looks worse. Could be luck. Could not be. This one is just really fucking weird. Oh, fuck. On this clip, he's on concrete. He's fighting with the other soldier, and then, ooh, there's a spy behind me, and he's invisible. And he turns around, kind of looks at him, and then he realizes, oh, he's still invisible, and then he turns back around to fight the soldier. It looks like he just knew he was there. Could be coincidence, but he's done this many times in the demo, so I'm not sure. In this clip, don't have much to say. It's just a very weird shot. It's an unusual shot, so I thought I'd keep it in here. On this clip, like before, he's tracking, and he shoots, and he still carries on tracking, which is like triggable. So here, the spy gets shot, and you know when you shoot spy, he kind of becomes visible for like a fraction of a second, and then he seems to perfectly follow him for a short while, and then he gives up. So if you know what cheating looks like, it's essentially a small window like this, and on this clip he just, I don't know, in the middle of the fucking scrim, stands still, either on his phone or replying to a message on Discord or something, or he's editing his config. So I thought I'd keep that in there, because he's done that, I think, a few times coming out of spawn or RT spawn, which, you know, like, he could just be replying to a message, or he could be doing that